This month I'm stalking with my good friend and experienced trained hunter, James Schneider. Becoming a good hunter comes from experience, and experience only comes with time spent in the field. Just going to walk down there just a little bit, check there's nothing on that.
Do you want me to wait?
You hang far. Yeah. It's early on in the day and we head to a familiar location where I've consistently been glassing fallow. And sure enough, today this ground doesn't disappoint.
If there's a whole group down there, we might be able to really take some numbers out. So I'm expecting that it's fallow that are laying down.
A great big herd over there.
That's what I thought. Okay. Do you want to do
They're right in the hedge.
Yeah.
All we're going to do, see, as far as, what was I down by that trough?
By that trough there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
If we get on the bipod,
yeah,
come right over that hump,
yeah,
and you'll get a shot down. It's only 100 yards down into the hedge line.
Okay, so we use the 308 with the bipod then?
Yeah, I reckon.
Okay, perfect.
James and I load up and, using low ground, quickly knock off a couple of 100 yards to get into position. There is a herd of about 20 or 30 fallows soaking up some late winter sun, oblivious to our approach. We take a minute to select a suitable animal before James takes the shot.
Take a second or two, take a second.
Now, it's all very well knowing what to do in a textbook scenario, but knowing how to behave when things go wrong is the real test of an experienced deer stalker. Firstly, it's crucial to watch carefully for the deer's reaction to the shot. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes since James is shot. Now that animal's head still keeps coming up. Now what that tells me is the fact that that animal hasn't bled out. So I suspect what's happened is James's shot has caused the animal to be paralysed. So it might be a little bit high and severed the spine, but it hasn't bled out, so it hasn't expired. Now in these situations, give yourself a bit of time, because it's possible with a few more minutes you may get a strong enough bleed and the animal will expire. However, if that doesn't happen, you need to be able to go in and take a second shot to dispatch it. An animal that's been paralysed but has not got a severe bleed may go on to live for some time, so we're going to have to do something about this animal. Unable to take a second shot from his current position, James makes the correct decision to approach. If possible, do this out of sight and from downwind. Okay, so what James has done there is obviously that animal's trying to get back up, and exactly as I'd said earlier on has happened. The shot, I don't know if you saw it, James, yeah. The shot, you could see it had just come across the back of the animal and you got an injury. It was enough to paralyse that animal, but it was never going to bleed out. Mm-hmm. Now with that animal struggling to get back up again, the best thing to do there, the most humane thing to do, is dispatch it with a second shot. And at 40 yards there, we could try and get a headshot or something like that, but let's not try and be clever. This is about the animal's well-being at this stage, and this is about dispatching it as quickly and humanely as we could. So what James did there is he took a solid chest cavity shot there to dispatch, and you can see the animal just dropped like a stone straight after that. Yes, we lose a little bit of venison, but this is about the welfare of the animal, as I say. Stalk deer for long enough, and the reality is that sooner or later something will go wrong. We owe it to our quarry to be able to deal with these situations as professionally and humanely as possible. Okay, mate, well, listen, we've got our animal. Not ideal. It's been a tricky situation, this one. But listen, James took the shot. I'm going to let him tell you exactly what he thinks happened.
Yeah, so where we were with this is it had a pretty intense stalk coming in on this, a bit of a crawl, and up on the bipod, and picking out this animal of a herd of probably about, I'd say, 20 to 30 beasts that were down here. Frankly, just botched the shot. I had it came in a little bit high, which is what clipped it through the spine here. And obviously the follow-up shot, the secondary shot, was done correctly, which is where you see this nice frothing blood. But really the important thing here is that if you stalk deer long enough, this is going to happen to everyone. So number one is the follow-up is key in ensuring that you're tracking the animal and able to get on it. And two, making sure that you're able to effectively dispatch it as soon as possible, as we've done in this case.
Exactly that. I mean, exactly as James says, it's knowing what to do in a crisis. When something has gone wrong, how do you fix it? And how do you fix it in as humane a way as you possibly can? And that's exactly what James has done. We've botched the first shot, there's no two ways about it. Slightly tricky shot, but there we go, no excuses, these things happen. It's come in the top here. I'll just show you there for the purposes of the camera, and you can see exactly what's happened. So the shot has grazed the top of the animal's shoulder. Fine in terms of the length of the animal, but of course not enough drop on that. The shot should have been lower placed down here. It's come across, and that's what's caused the paralysis. And that's why that animal couldn't get back up again, because its spine's been severed. It's not going to go anywhere, but nonetheless, it's not going to bleed out either. And if you've got an animal that's not going to bleed out, you've got to know that you need to dispatch it. You've got to cause a strong bleed or sudden death. And that's what James has done. The animal is struggling. It's not worth trying to take a clever headshot in that situation and botching the situation even further, is it?
That makes it worse, absolutely. Yeah.
So what James has done, he's done exactly the right thing. He's placed a solid cavity shot there, and that's dropped the animal seconds later. So, you know, these situations happen. It's been dealt with correctly. Yes, we've lost some venison, but at least the animal was dispatched humanely. If you'd like to learn how to take the first step in becoming a more accomplished deer stalker, then take a look at our Proficient Deer Stalker course, www.countydeerstalking.com/proficient stalker.